Welcome to the official AFL Fantasy podcast with the Traders.
G'day with the Traders, I'm Roy, I coach Destroy, and I'm here with Warnie.
Coach of the Warn Dogs.
And Gavin.
Coach Governator.
Righto, boys, we are going to have a look at the Premiers. Now, when you hear Premiership side, you usually think they must be oozing with top-end talent.
Yeah.
And they're not really. Like,
They're not.
The top end are elite.
They've got three big dudes at the top.
100%. And then it sort of just drops off to a lot of really quality role players, but we're not that interested in them. So I'm going to hit you with the big dogs, and then I want to know which ones you're actually considering out of them, because they all have their upside. They're all very tempting. They're all absolute superstars. So first one, Petracca. Now, years he copped crap for being...
when will he break out?
When will he break out? He's actually never going to. He's lazy, yada, yada, yada. Well, he's an absolute superstar of the competition.
Awesome years.
So he averaged 111, so makes him relevant in all forms of the game. But are you thinking 111, you pay $9.30, you want them to be able to do a little bit more? Well, he showed that he actually can do more. So round 16 and 17, he just grabbed the dial and turned it up a couple of notches. Scored 136 and 153 in those weeks, and then averaged 118 up to the end of the season.
Wow.
Finished
the year well.
He finished the year very well, dog. So there's 7 points on that average after round 16.
He's the kind of guy that I never own.
Yep. Yeah, I never do either.
I don't know why.
No.
But I never own a guy like this.
Is it something about forward status in your head? Yeah. Or I don't know, but there is something.
He was such an epic breakout dude that year, wasn't he? Like, it was such a good thing.
Now, you're only as good as your last game, and his last game happened to be 139.
And a Norm Smith medal.
From 39 touches, 3 marks, 4 tackles, and 2 brilliant goals.
2 sausage rolls.
Yeah.
That's a line. Wow.
139.
39.
Yep. 39 touches.
So good. Bit of meat on the bone there, dog.
Yep. Well, there is. He is a proper premium midfielder.
Top 8
now.
Well,
yeah, probably scrapes in maybe.
Yep. First rounder.
Oh, well, it would be.
It has to be close because he's only missed 1 game in 5 years.
Okay.
That's a nice stat when you're talking draft.
Yeah.
All right. Well, while you guys are so hot on this and it's fresh in your mind, who do you draft first? Out of Petracca or Clayton Oliver? Like you just
this time last year we would have gone Oliver
100%
every day of the week.
daylight second. Now, Oliver, he's priced at $9.12, so a little bit cheaper after averaging 109. Now, he went 115 Corona, and he's usually about that 110 guy. That's where we'd put him.
And he's been just a very good career.
100%. Yeah. Now, he went through, and it was very uncharacteristic for him, a really quiet patch, and I'm talking quiet and disappointing, hitting scores like 80 through the year, and it actually brought his price.
That's when we jumped on. Down. I remember that.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So that was unusual for him, and I don't think it's something to get used to.
Yeah.
But it happened, and it makes him a little bit cheaper than what I would have him priced at. I think him and Petracca, they could both be sort of 115.
Agree.
Price. There's enough ball to get those two up to that, but draft day, it's your pick. You want a midfielder. Yep. You want a midfielder that you can put the C on.
Yep.
Who do you pick out of those two? They're both available on
you
the
gotta
table.
go. You got to go the track.
In the last 5 years,
you have to go.
I felt
Oliver's
Oliver
played every game. Played one more game than him. That could be a difference.
You're on today.
You are on. So,
and guess how many points difference they had in the grand final? 138.
Okay, no wonder I'm finding them so hard to split.
You can't split them.
Right, so here's the deal then. You got to split it. What are you doing on draft day? They're both there. This could make or break your season.
Could it ever?
I feel like Oliver's
now
way safer.
Feels like, and that's probably what it is. Petracca's got the ceiling, I think, we're seeing now. Oliver is just run of the mill.
He is.
He gets there, he'll make his 100 off of 200 balls.
Yep.
Yes. No one's answered the
question.
I'm
Petracca.
You're Petracca.
I think I'll go the long-term
Oliver. Yep. I could have guessed that you
Where
two
are you
would
then?
do that.
Where are you with it?
Oh, I don't know yet.
We'll find out by the end of the show.
So, Big Max.
Okay.
A lot of talk
Right.
about this because Luke Jackson had an epic grand final and Max only scored 100 in that grand final where Jackson was sick and he basically turned the game. At the end of the third quarter...
He was sick.
Fully sick.
He's fully sick. I was worried. I go, hang on, was he out?
Epic sick. Epic sick. So, like sick dog sick. Yeah. good sick. Now, in the end of that third quarter, and Max didn't even come back on the ground. He's like, that dude is changing the game. Leave him in there. So is that a projection into the future that the CBAs will not be as heavy, Max dominant, moving forward? There's also the thing I just want to say. Max kicked 5 goals.
Yes.
Against Geelong, wasn't it?
Yeah, for 145.
Yeah. So to show that Big Max can go forward, and he's unstoppable forward if he's on. So I'm just thinking these splits could change a fair bit. Now that's what everyone's panic is about.
It is.
In picking Max. Now let me just say one more thing about Max. The last 5 games. All right, so he had that sucky 101 in the grand final. His games before that, round 23, 139. Then he had 145 and another 140, I think it was.
Wow. Okay.
I think it went 135, 145 actually.
Correct.
So that is huge.
So he rucks. Yep. He rucks less.
That's next level huge.
He rucks less, but he'll take more marks.
Okay.
He was doing some of that behind the ball, but now he's definitely a forward, though, isn't he? That's the thing, and that's a worry.
Does it take, or does he? If this is ridiculous, but if I was coaching, I would have him playing forward there.
Yeah.
I'd have him sole ruck the whole game still.
Yeah.
Still what he does, rest forward. But if you're playing him that more forward, why not at the end of a quarter still float back like Gunstan does or tries to do? Imagine Max doing a role like that.
Yeah.
LeBron.
He could average heaps.
So you're not starting with him in Classic?
No, because he's still priced highly and you're worried about the Luke Jackson thing. He could have whole games basically where it's like your number one ruck today, Luke. Max, you are playing forward, chopping out.
And this is your rest game.
But he'll be number 2, though, on the list.
He'll be behind.
Brody averages more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you think he doesn't get pressured by any of the other rucks?
No, I don't think so.
No, so you have him averaging
104.
Right.
Okay.
Although I did make a big bold call the other day on Twitter.
Oh, yeah?
Something like you?
Grundy would be the only ruck to average over 100. It was a hot take, like I was trying to make a big one for the draft doctors.
Okay.
But that could happen.
Oh, God.
Could you see that happen?
One of those dudes.
Max gets 100. Don't turn into one of those blokes, dog.
No. I'm just... Is there a world that
Max
happens?
Goes
Max
100.
doesn't...
Yes, he goes 100.
Is there a world that he doesn't go over 100?
No. That world does not exist.
Right, okay. Especially not if he's playing the LeBron run. Coming back. Okay.
But Melbourne potentially have...
Good thing this is our last one of these club previews. Right.
Melbourne potentially have
35 degrees in this room.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, that's our excuse. Now, sorry.
No, I was going to say, no, not really. They potentially have 3 first-round draft picks.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a lot.
It is.
Now, in the Roland 22, those two, that Petracca Oliver, they are still vying for probably that 8th spot. Even that feels a bit deep for them.
Yeah.
But, that's where it's at. So, Luke Jackson, you'd be very happy with him in a keeper league.
Yeah, for sure.
Because he could even start hitting those 80s more frequently than he did last year, and you can pick him as a forward as well. Yep. So, it's pretty nice. I think he hit 80 4 or 5 times last year. So, for a young big that's supposed to take 5-6 years to develop, he can already do it.
Yeah.
So he's someone you'd want in your keeper league. Listen to this one, just as a time filler. Angus Brayshaw.
Oh, not again.
So that year he averaged 105.
Yeah.
He got it up to 105 by averaging about 190 for the last half of the season. Yeah, well, he didn't score 100 all year, right?
Oh, dear.
And he finished the season with 45, 23 and 75.
Dodgeball.
Guess what, though?
What?
Finals.
Oh.
He got himself together. He averaged over 90 in the finals, and he got his first 100 in the first week of finals. And did you see how much swag he had the day after grand final day?
Yeah.
He was walking around like 105, Bray.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, like his
had a
helmet.
cigar in his mouth.
Yeah.
A bit like Jordan.
His helmet will not be in the cooler bag next year.
Anyone else to fill up some time with him?
He's...
What?
No, that's a...
No, It's a good stat.
It's a great stat.
Don't pick him in any format. No. Just don't do it.
I just thought that was kind of interesting. Tell you who else is interesting.
He was Michael Jordan with his cigar.
Yeah, and LeBron.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to Alan Iverson. Sorry. Luke Dunstan. Alan Dunstan. So Dunstan, right? Kind of a laughing stock because he was sitting up the top that year after Corona Ball, sitting up the top of the averages with a thumping, what was it, like 120 almost.
Yeah,
anyway,
125.
There you go. Now,
highest averaging player of Corona Ball.
Yeah. What a ledge. Anyway, so I thought he was really good for the Saints last year, and his scoring reflected that. He had some really good games, including 400s and one of 140. Yeah. If you look across statistically, you remember the year Jared Lyons got the arse from the Suns. The key statistics he led was phenomenal, and I crunched some Dunstan ones. Oh. He led a lot of key categories. Right. So the Demons, they're licking their lips at the fact that this unwanted guy actually can play, and like within his role, the key categories that he is really good, it would statistically elite in, I'm going to say. There's a lot of talk he won't get a game. I don't think he's there as a safety. I think he gets a game.
He gets a game.
Round one.
Wow.
Yep. So, yes, he should slide. No, dog. The reigning premiers I'm talking about. Right. So
he bumps a couple of those guys out. I agree.
Yeah, he does. So he's an upgrade on a couple of them. So you would not draft him at his average or pay for him in classic at that price. But I tell you what, he has a little place in fantasy this year, and I reckon it will leave his owners quite pleased.
Pokey takes him in our draft at that average, so we won't even think about that.
We won't get to even think about that. No, which is fine, but I think he's going to be very good. Like I'm talking 90 plus again.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want a useless stat?
Well, average. Well, you're saying average. How many games for that average of 90 plus?
Probably rested one or two here and there. 20?
20 odd.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know why you don't like him.
Talk about these hot takes.
What?
He'll play 20.
That's a smoking hot take.
That is a smoking hot take.
It's hotter than this room.
And I'll tell you what, it'll be correct. Okay. Yeah? Another crap stat to go with my crap stats.
Great stat. Tom Sparrow. No. I'm not saying. Tom Sparrow last year, the most vested Melbourne player, 7 vests out of his 13 games.
Wow.
Unders, Roy.
Way unders.
Mid-forward as well.
Great number crunching. Christian Salem.
Don't pick him.
Someone that I should give a bit of respect to.
Yes,
21 games last year. We always worry about him and his body and always have that flag in your head that not so durable. But 21 games, average of 93, 900s, top of 141.
Yeah.
That's elite.
It is.
He really should have his hat in the ring as one of your top 2 or 3, defenders that you're just going to stick with all year.
Yep.
Good
Agree.
player.
There you go.
Yeah, that's about it, I think.
Not a lot going on.
No, there's not, but I tried to pump it up with a few NBA references. And
top tier players are elite, and just like Geelong, then that's it.
Yeah.
It's tough to find the meat on the bone cow.
It is. And it's hard for rookies to get a game for him too. What was Jordan last year? Was that his second year?
Michael.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, Jordan, he's in the system a couple of years. And that's what we might see a couple of guys come through. Like a couple of names, like even Joel Smith. I know this is a bit of a weird one, but he's at 220K, played some games, and he's better than that rookie price. Yeah. So that price him at 26. He's averaged 55 before.
Yeah, okay.
So, like, if you're desperate and need that sort of priced player, he could play.
We're really scraping the barrel.
Wrap this up.
It's good. Well, that's the end of our 18 club previews, boys. They've been fantastic. Some better than others.
A lot better than others, dog.
Cal, you get the one vote, I reckon, for yours.
I'm happy with that. Well, stop stitching me up every year.
That's all right. You can go back and have a listen to them and see how wrong we were over a lot of players. But a lot of fun going through these. Regular transmission of the Traders AFL Fantasy Podcast resumes now, so be on the lookout as they drop via Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and also on afl.com.au and the AFL Live app, where you'll find plenty of our content this pre-season. Head to fantasy.afl.com.au and sign up, or download the app now and get your fantasy team ready to go. Good work, boys.